Hi everyone, my name's Electric Donkey. So in the last video, we got a little bit done with the unit selection box, and we got it sorted like that. For some reason we're outputting something. What we want to do in this video is if we hover over a unit or select a unit like that, it shows us like a little box maybe indicating what type of unit or something. For the moment we're going to have several boxes for the different individual units, so we could split them off. In the future we might just keep them all as one, like if we add more types of units, have them grouped into types of units. But for the moment we need a little box to be able to draw. We need to have some sort of space to be able to draw the amount of units in. So this will go in the overlay, of course, and in the draw GUI. We're just going to start right here. So we have definitely got a little bit to do somewhere else, but for the moment we're going to make a little array, I believe, called units, like that. And the reason we're going to do this is because this is going to hold the instance ID of the units within our selection box, and I'll go into that a little bit later. We're also going to have a little variable called draw2, which is as standard going to be false, and I think that's all of our variables done. Draw2 is just going to be whether we draw that little bit at the bottom that I was describing earlier. We can close that down now anyway. So yeah, we're just going to say here if draw2. We'll set that later on where we actually use that, but for the moment we'll just say if draw2. So at the moment it won't actually draw anything as of yet, but we could get rid of this for the time being and just have it constant, not like that, constantly draw, just to check it works, and then add this in later. So what we're going to do is draw a starting rectangle. I've wrote here some random kind of things that just work. I'll go through them a little bit more as we do them. So we're going to use some of the built-in view functions like the viewport. We're going to divide it by 2, which should get us in the center, and then we're going to minus 50 because that will get us slightly to the left. We can copy this for the x2. No, I've left a gap there for the y, and we're just going to plus 50 instead. So it's kind of either side. And then here we're going to put it at the bottom, so we want h port 0, and we just want to minus, like, put here 60, so it means it'll be 60 off the bottom. And for y2, well, we're going to make it finish just 10 off the bottom. You can mess around with these numbers aren't set in stone. All I know is that these numbers kind of work, and if we test that now, obviously there's no draw 2-bit going on, so we should just see it. Yeah, there we go, a little box at the bottom. You can make it bigger. We probably will need to make it bigger depending on the size, but we can do that relatively easily. In fact, I'm just going to show you that, guys, really quickly. So just here, let's say variable for width. That's built in. Whoops. Let's do something a little bit more descriptive then. Box width, in this case, is 100, and then here we can do box with width divided by 2 in place of the 50, and this will just mean that we will get the same effect. We can change it now a lot easier. So if I wanted this to be 1,000, say, it would be ridiculously long, but it would be centered in the center, so you can't actually see. But yeah, and this is where we're going to hold our units now, so we'll keep it as 100. Now, next thing we want to do is a little for loop. Var I equals 0. It's going to be a really standard one. I is less than instance number of object basic unit. What you could do here, and we'll probably do it later on, is if you have more than one set of units, so different types of units, you could have a parent, they could all have a common parent, and then just count the number of that parent instead. So here what we want to do is actually add to the units a little bit. So units I equals instance find object basic unit I. And you may be asking, what does instance find actually do? Because instance number is relatively self-explanatory. It just obviously finds the number of units. In this case, instance find, it gets the instance ID of the object in place n or number I even in this case. The reason why we want the instance ID is because normally if we control things using the unit, the object, if we just say object basic unit dot x, it moves all of the object basic units to whatever we set it equal to. If we use the instance ID, it'll only move that one instance, and it's a lot more useful for unit separation and stuff. So anyway, here I'm going to just draw text, and for the moment this is just a temporary kind of solution. We're going to copy this, just the first two, because it only needs an x and a y, and the string is just going to be string units, and this is going to be absolutely horrible to see, but I'll just show you what it kind of looks like for the moment. There you go. As you can see, absolutely horrible. There's no text centering going on whatsoever, so we'll do that now. Draw text, draw set h align to, is it this? Maybe it's not that. I better look them up. I'm not entirely sure. FA center. And then of course it's good practice to set it back to what it was, which is, I believe, left. And there we go. If we run, oh, we've deleted a few brackets there by accident. If we run this, we should see a little bit of a more nice, slightly more nice looking box there. Of course that is still not in the center quite, because our x and y are not in the center. Way we can get around this is by just getting rid of this minus here. Now if we run it, it should be in the center. Anyway, this is all kind of besides the point, because we're going to make this look a little bit nicer after a bit. But this has nothing to do with our box currently, so it's not amazing, so we need to work a little bit on that by selecting and stuff. So I think we'll probably do that in the next video. For the moment I'm going to leave it there. If you like this video, remember to like, subscribe, all the guys want to do, and I'll talk to you in the next one.